Alright, what is up? This is Slowplays, and I'm here today for a news video. Actually, some really crazy, unexpected news that is coming through for Dragon Ball FighterZ and Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. This is the first time ever that I am actually discussing both games in one video, and this is more of an announcement from the Bandai Namco US Twitter. So they basically stated that in 4 days, on January 14th at 4 p.m. PST, we're getting some big news, big reveals, big interviews with the producers of both games. Now, I'm going to discuss a little bit later on throughout this video about my thoughts on what, could potentially be like a 1% chance of something that we could see, but that's just my own speculation on it, my own headcanon, something that I would be really excited about if they did announce. But I'm going to get into the more serious topics right now. So basically, for Dragon Ball FighterZ, we know for a fact, an absolute fact, that it's been teased several times throughout interviews with the actual producers and everything, that they're working on a Season 2, or that they're actually trying to get a Season 2 out for the DLC. It would only make sense. The game is extremely successful. It's the biggest fighting game to date at this very moment right now, and it's hot. It's popping. It really is. The first DLC did really well. The only issue with it, in my opinion, was I think the DLC number 3, which was Base Form Goku and Vegeta. Really fun characters, cool concept. The fact that we had to pay for them was pretty dumb, in my opinion. But the other characters were all unique and really cool. Park Ranger, Android number 17. Again, another weird choice for them. Still a really cool character. I like it. But, their choices for these characters being DLC was a little bit weird. Some obscure choices. The fact that we got, characters like Fusamasu, Vegito Blue, Cooler, Broly, Bardock. Those make sense. Those are very, different, unique characters that would make sense to be, DLC. Or with Broly and Bardock, maybe even had made them unlockable characters. I would have loved to have seen that more for Dragon Ball FighterZ, but that's not what this video is about. This is going to be what is actually being announced here. So 100%, I'm pretty sure we're going on with the Season 2. I have the best feeling in my bones that this is going to be Season 2. A lot of people have speculated this as well, and it would only make sense because we have the World Tour and stuff going on during this time, I think, as well, which, again, something that I do need to make note. This is on a Monday, just in case any of you are kind of confused. So it will be a school night for some people, but just keep that in mind. It's going to be on January 14th. So Dragon Ball FighterZ Season 2, I have a good feeling about that. Now, here's where it gets weird. Something that I was not really expecting. And again, I want you guys to keep your hopes low, okay? Keep those expectations extremely low, especially when it comes to Xenoverse 2, because this one is a doozy at this point. I don't know what the hell they're going to be announcing with this one, because they've pretty much done everything that they can with this game. I think the lifespan for it has met its end. It came out the same time that Dragon Ball Fusions came out. Same year and everything. Dragon Ball Fusions has ceased to exist. Xenoverse 2 has lived on for about 2 years, almost 3 years now. We're in 2019. The game came out in 2016, but it was a late time during, 2016. I think it came out in October, if I'm not mistaken. So, the fact that it has lasted this long is great. I love the game. I feel like it's a good stopping point for it now that, the movie is going to be released for Broly. They had the last, DLC pack number 8, extra pack number 4 with Broly and Gogeta. I think there's not really much else that they can add to it. Now, we know for a fact that something is coming very soon. It was announced last month or a couple months ago, the photo mode. The photo mode is the final thing that I can really think that is going to add a little bit more to the game, just for fun. It's not really a big, massive feature or anything, just something that's, basically like an Instagram for Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. But it's good for content creators. You can make some really nice thumbnails. I've seen some of the screenshots. It looks great and everything. But in terms of additional characters, story, any additional legitimate content, I cannot see anything else being added for this game. I feel like they need to just stop any more support for this game and work on Xenoverse 3 if they haven't already been doing that. Now, again, I have no idea what exactly is going on with, you know, producers. I think the producer is Masayuki Hirano. I think that's the producer for Xenoverse 2. So this dude, I mean, the guy, he's actually been putting in the work with, you know, getting all this stuff released. I remember back when, I think it was Extra Pack number 2, I want to say, with Ultra Instinct Goku and Jiren and stuff. That was what we thought was going to be the last, you know, DLC. And then we ended up, you know, finding out that he, you know, had a little bit of an announcement saying that, you know, things would be improving like netcode, and obviously that never came into fruition, which is sad, but you know what I mean? Like, it's just weird that he decided, you know what, I'm just gonna add in more characters, just a couple of more. So we got Kefla, Super Baby 2, my boy Gogeta Blue, and then Broly. Okay, Gogeta Blue and Broly makes sense, but I was not expecting Kefla and Super Baby 2 to just be coming as, you know, Extra Pack number 3. That one was a really weird thing. So when it comes to, you know, the developer of Xenoverse, at this point anything could happen. Tomoko, I think her name is Tomoko Hiroki. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. The producer of Dragon Ball FighterZ. She still has a lot of room that she can work with in terms of additional characters and additional content for Dragon Ball FighterZ. I feel like there's still a lot that can be added to that game. Both games are extremely successful. You know, one's a casual fighter and more based on content and story. The other one is more based on the competitive aspect. But, you know, in terms of, like, you know, a game like, what is it, Street Fighter? You know, people still support that game, and, you know, there is still support in terms of DLC and characters for that game, like, still coming through. That's what they always do with Street Fighter games, and they do Super Street Fighter, Ultra Street Fighter 5, you know, Mega Super Ultra Death Street Fighter Mega Crap 27. Like, you know, that's how it is. But, like, you know, with fighters, with Dragon Ball FighterZ, I could definitely see them adding, you know, a lot of awesome characters, like big ones like Janemba and Gogeta. You know, I would love to see them in that game as well. So hopefully we get some more insight on this, and I really wanted to just use this video as more of a discussion on my thoughts and feelings on what I, you know, think is going to be happening. Now let's get into some, you know, wild cards real quick. You know, things that I feel like have maybe like a 1% chance of being you know, announced, because again, this is Bandai, this is Dragon Ball. Anything could happen, honestly. Like, I am down for anything, and I can believe anything, but it's just really highly unlikely that this is going to happen. This is just, again, my own, like, you know, headcanon with it, you know, just what I think would be awesome, what would make me really happy. And I think a lot of you guys would get excited. Now, the more, I guess, believable thing is potentially an announcement or tease towards Xenoverse 3. You know, the producer could come on and just be like, oh yeah, we appreciate all your support on Xenoverse 2, you know, photo mode, blah blah blah, you know, DLC was great, successful, we sucked up all your money from, you know, recolors and reskins, you know what I mean? But no, in all seriousness, you know, in the very end, we are highly, you know, surprised that you guys like this game so much, so now we're gonna be working on Xenoverse 3, boom, you know, something like that. We're thinking about working on a sequel. Now, I doubt that's going to happen. They never said anything about Xenoverse 2 whenever Xenoverse was still pretty new at the time. Well, not super new, but it was like, you know, Xenoverse, the very first Xenoverse was about a year old, and then, you know, during May, they said a big announcement coming for a new Dragon Ball game that's going to be coming out. You know, everybody was like, oh my god, Budokai Tenkaichi 4, oh my god, Budokai 4, oh my god, Raging Blast 7, you know, people were like, oh, what are we getting, you know, and nothing really was being, like, towards Xenoverse, like a continuation of Xenoverse. I didn't really see much speculation on it, and then we saw, you know, the teases, and then boom, it's like, you know, they talked about future, time patrol, time travel, all that stuff, so everyone was like, alright, it's Xenoverse, it's the sequel of Xenoverse. Got the announcement, I was shitting bricks, it was sick, one of the coolest reveals ever. I think, in my opinion, I was more excited about this than I was than, you know, the reveal for FighterZ or the leak of FighterZ. You know, still exciting. I love both games to death, but, you know, Xenoverse 2, it's just been such an amazing, you know, series for me. It's my favorite Dragon Ball series, you know, at this very moment in time. So seeing that come through, you know, was awesome. So I could definitely see them, you know, maybe making more of an announcement towards, like, later, you know, more towards, I guess, like, E3 and stuff. You know, I'm just going off of, you know, just like the past history of what they've done. And, you know, shout outs to, like, Rhyme Style and stuff. He's got really good insight on the patterns of, you know, how the games work and, you know, whenever they're actually going to be, you know, released and stuff. Again, he doesn't, like, work at Bandai or anything, but he's got a better insight. You know, he's got more experience with how all this stuff works. And, you know, the dude actually goes out and, you know, sees stuff with Bandai, goes to like the, you know, headquarters and all that stuff. So, you know, maybe he knows something that we don't. I don't know. You know, it's up in the air at this point. But, you know, he's saying that we're most likely going to be getting a reveal for anything. If anything, it'll be towards May, June, E3, around that time, which I believe that 100%. It makes sense. You know, we had Jump Force being revealed for E3, you know, last year. And then we had, you know, Fighters being revealed, I mean, without the initial leak that we had back in May of, you know, 2017, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it was 2017. And then, you know, we had the reveal at E3. It was sick. It was exciting. So, you know, they usually have a new Dragon Ball game every single year. And we already know that Dragon Ball Heroes is coming to Switch, I believe, in April. Now, Dragon Ball Heroes is a completely different thing. We're not going to get into that. We already know that's coming out. That would be cool. Now, my last little bit that I want to get into, and this is probably not happening at all. I have a good feeling that it's not happening, but it's just something that I was discussing with a couple of people on Twitter, and I think it would be cool if they decided to do this because I've seen the success of the game. You guys know this game. It's, you know, a game that is dead currently right now, but it's probably what got my channel kind of like into more of the zone of, like, you know, branching out for Dragon Ball games, and that is Fusions. Dragon Ball Fusions, a sequel or potentially like a remake on the Switch or something. I don't know, something like Dragon Ball Fusions. It doesn't have to even be called Dragon Ball Fusions anymore. Just something like it where you can just fuse a bunch of characters together. It's got an original story, the weird little RPG element, something like that. Anything related to that game as like a new video game coming out would just blow my mind, and I would be nutting so hard. Like, it would just be ridiculous. I know that's disgusting to hear, but I'm sorry, it's the absolute truth. Guys, if Dragon Ball Fusion, anything related to that game gets revealed, it's over for me, guys. You're not going to see the channel anymore. You're not going to see me anymore. I'm going to be gone. Alright, I'm actually going to Thanos it out, fade from existence. You won't see your boy Slow anymore. It's going to be over. But in all seriousness, my friends, that's just, you know, something that would make me really, you know, stoked and excited. But other than that, I'm going to be excited for this. I know I said keep your expectations low, but it's going to be kind of hard knowing that these two games are going to be getting some, like, you know, big reveals. And they're saying big, you know, they're putting 3 big on the emphasis on, you know, big. So it's like 1, 2, 3, Xenoverse 3 confirmed, guys. Boom. There, I just solved the riddle for you. But in all seriousness, I would love to hear what you guys have to say about it in the comment section. You know, just go crazy in the comment section. Discuss it with other people. Let me know what you guys think about it. I want to read everything that you guys have to say about this announcement that we're getting on the 14th of January at 4 p.m. PST. It's only going to be an hour long, so we could be getting some really big things coming very soon for it, and I'm excited. So peace out. Take care. Have a great rest of your day, my friends, and I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.